What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I'm very excited. And the reason I'm very excited is we've got more Digimon Survive promo cards. Now, these are not, of course, the first Digimon Survive promo cards that we have actually had. We had some a little while ago. When Digimon Survive came out in Japan, if you bought the game in Japan, you would get all three promos. Well, there was a Falcomon, a Labramon, and an Agamon, and you would get all three of them in the box. Didn't work that way everywhere over in the US. I know they've been given out at various events, and in Europe, you had to go onto the Bandai website and you would put in your 1,000 points code that you got from the game, and then they would mail them to you. If anyone's wondering why they would do that rather than putting them in the box, because it's easier and a bunch of people won't bother doing it, but then they do have to pay postage as well, so I don't know. And they were cool cards, and they were very much themed. Agamon, when you play, if you've got a red tamer in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 power or less. Falcomon, if you've got a yellow tamer in play, one of your opponent's Digimon loses 2,000 power until the end of their turn. And Labramon, if you have a purple tamer in play, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. And they were characterized by having artwork which was very indicative of the game Digimon Survive. And they all had, the tamer there in the artwork as well. And they, of course, and when I say the art is indicative, I mean if you play the game, the kind of stock image that is used during the visual novel portions of the game is basically the pose you see on this card. It is really like taken straight out of the game. Plus you got the tamer on there, and they are cards that really rely on you having a tamer in play, which again really kind of fits the whole Digimon Survive theme. It was cool. And as a side note, if you're a Digimon fan, Digimon Survive is a Digimon visual novel with light strategy elements. If you like that, brilliant game. If you don't think you'll like that, honestly, you probably won't. But it turns out there is a tamer event going on over in Japan right now. And I say going on right now, that's not strictly true, is it? Let's go and find these dates so I'm not lying to you. They are starting in November. And there is a promo pack. And that promo pack is a Digimon Survive branded promo pack. And it literally says Digimon Survive on. It's got the artwork of the protagonist and Agamon on it. And all the promos are Digimon Survive themed. This isn't like a little bit of a tie-in. This is a, hey, we're doing a Digimon Survive promo pack. Lovely. And 3 of the cards here are going to look very, very familiar, because they are actually just alternate arts of the cards we've already seen. Simple as that. These are alternate arts of the cards that we've actually already seen. So that Takuma with Agamon is exactly the same as the one that we've already seen. That Eye and Labramon is exactly the same as the one we've already seen. And the Minoru with Falcomon is the one we've already seen. Same cards, different artwork. I should mention these are, as tournament packs tend to be over in Japan, they are 1-pack promos. So there's 8 to collect, but when you pick up a pack in Japan, you will only get 1 of them. The thing is, when I got those Digimon Survive promos initially, and obviously I went and got them, big Digimon nerd that I am, and love the game, there was a part of me that then, I got the cards, and then I played the game, and I was like, well, there's a bunch of really cool characters here that aren't being represented, that are in the game, that aren't being represented in these promo cards. That did make me a little bit sad. Don't worry your pretty little heads about it, ladies and gentlemen, because now we have got the rest of them. So we've got Ryu with Kuniomon. 3 cost to play normally, 0 cost to digivolve, 2,000 power. When you have a green tamer and you play the card, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So again, and this is going to be a theme as we go through, right? You know this, don't you? This is going to be a bit of a theme. You've got to have a tamer in play. It's got a play effect. I'm just double checking here that I'm not being dumb, but no, they all have play effects, and all of the play effects depend on you having a tamer of the relevant colour in play. And here you are suspending one of your opponent's Digimon. That's not bad. It's not absolutely stunning, but the way I look at it is this. For a long time, Flower Cannon saw a whole bunch of play, and Flower Cannon was a 2-cost option card that suspended one of your opponent's Digimon, and this is a 3-cost Digimon that suspends one of your opponent's Digimon, and then leaves you with a Digimon in play. which I like quite a bit more. Although admittedly, yes, I know that Flower Cannon has fallen out of favour. I know it's not seen the play that it has been seen in the past. I'm sorry. My point is, it's kind of cool. It's not that bad. Now, we've also got, and this is awkward because I've finished the game, a couple of weeks after it came out, and now I'm desperately trying to remind myself what all of these characters are actually called so that I can tell you as we go through the game. I'm sorry. But we do have another green pairing here. We've got Saki that comes along with Floramon. 3 cost to play normally, 0 cost to Digivolve, 2,000 power. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to stop saying that because literally all of these promos are 3 cost to play normally, 0 cost to Digivolve, 2,000 power. It is a classic Digimon TCG way of saying this is a level 3 with a decent skill. Not an amazing skill. Amazing skills generally push you down to 1,000 power, but this ain't too bad. And what we've got here is when you play it, if you've got a green tamer in play, one of your opponent's Digimon cannot unsuspend until the end of your opponent's next turn. I actually really like this. Now, we've seen a bunch of these. Puppetmon is one that, especially in the early days of the Digimon TCG, I played a lot of Puppetmon. And let's be clear, I am fully aware I'm not the only one that played a whole bunch of Puppetmon. I know a bunch of you lovely ladies and gentlemen did too, but I was a huge fan of Puppetmon, at least in the early days of the game. Because this would suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, but then during your opponent's next unsuspend phase, none of your opponent's Digimon unsuspended. This is obviously not on the same level as that, but it's still cool. It still stops your opponents, at least one of them, unsuspending. It's not too bad. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a fan of this next dude. We've got Lopmon coming along with Shuji. And if you've played Digimon Survive, I'm assuming you don't like Shuji. Because, who would, honestly? Boo! I don't want to go into any spoiler territory here, although the game has been out for quite a while at this point, but no. Nobody likes Shuji. Boo. And I'm looking at some of the comments. Translations here can come from the lovely folks over at Ensan Gaming. And the comments here have not been kind to Shuji, nor should they be. But what we've got here is a Lopmon. When you play it, if you have a yellow tamer, choose one of your opponent's Digimon and give them security attack -1 until the end of your opponent's next turn. Cool. Again, this is quite a weak skill. Now, I'm not saying it's weak as in bad. I mean, we've seen a bunch of Digimon over, since this game came out that have security attack -1, but we've seen ones that are way, way, way better at giving security attack -1. So when this is just security attack -1 to one Digimon, it's not the same, ladies and gentlemen. The Syakomon from way back in BT3 gave all of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards security attack -1. Well, that's quite a bit better, I think it's fair to say. So, I'm not saying this is a bad skill, it's not, but I am saying that we've seen stronger versions of this skill, and I am saying I don't like Shuji, and I don't think you should either. Now, Kaito is a more palatable character, and we do see it coming along with Dracmon here, and we got a skill when you play this, if you have a purple tamer, this Digimon may evolve into a Digimon card with Undead or Dark Animal in its traits from your trash for its evolution cost. This one could actually be really, really good. I like this one a lot, because first of all, you are Digivolving from the trash. Great, because purple love to play from the trash. It means you don't have to have the card in your hand. And secondly, you're Digivolving when you play it. So generally speaking, you play Dracmon and maybe the turn goes to your opponent. But here, even if the turn would go to your opponent, you still have that time to actually get Dracmon evolving again. And sure, the turn will then pass to your opponent and they will have more memory, but you will at least get that evolution so you can play and immediately evolve it. This is definitely one of the better ones. And then we finish off with Mew and Syakomon here. And we've got ourselves, when play, if you've got a blue tamer, until the end of your opponent's next turn, one of your Digimon cannot be the target of an attack. And I like this. The translation we've got from Ensign Gaming is one of your Digimon can't be chosen for attack. I'm pretty sure that means one of your Digimon it is basically protected for a turn. Your opponent can't attack them even if they want to. And with my limited Japanese, I've had a read of the card. That does seem to be what it says. And this is actually another one that's low-key really, really, really good. Because basically, if you've got a Digimon that you want to protect, that your opponent would be able to attack under normal circumstances, then you play this and you literally protect your Digimon. That's a really, really, really good thing, ladies and gentlemen. That's a really good thing. Basically making sure that your opponent cannot go after one of your Digimon that you're trying to protect. That's awesome. There are a few of these, like I've mentioned as we go through, that I really do think could end up being really genuinely good, and that makes me very happy indeed. If nothing else, I just want these cards in my collection. I think they're brilliant. I loved Digimon Survive. I'm probably going to wait a year or two before I play it again. You know, I want to try and forget a bunch about the game because it's a visual novel at the end of the day. It's largely a visual novel. So I really want to try and make sure that I wait a little while, forget a bunch of stuff about it, and then go back in and play. But when that day comes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be very excited to play that game again. Digimon Survive is awesome. And now you're telling me there's a set of promos which are literally just Digimon Survive promos. I am into it. And to answer the obvious question here that I know an awful lot of you are going to have, no, I don't know how these cards are coming out in English. But I can tell you they're coming, because they always do. Firstly, all the promos from Japan come out over here anyway. And secondly, these are specifically tournament promos in Japan, and tournament promos from Japan always end up making their way over here. Maybe they will be box toppers, maybe they will be just tournament promos, maybe they'll end up as part of a pre-release. I can't tell you exactly how they're going to come over here. I mean, I can, and I will the second they're announced. You know I'm going to make a video about it. But I can tell you that they will be at some point. They will come over here. They always do. And when that's announced, I am absolutely going to make a video showing you how to get them, because that's the kind of thing that I do. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about these. I want to know if you love them as much as I do. I want to know if you dislike Shuji as much as I do. And I want to know which of these cards you think are good. So go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.